A child of Indian immigrants who created digital jobs that pay a living wage to thousands in Africa and India, believing that the intellect of the poor was the biggest untapped resource in the world. Her parents are immigrants and they came up to US in 1978 with two suitcases. She literally felt she lived the American dream. She and her brother went to public school and they had jobs where she started working when she was 12. She started babysitting in the neighborhood and she always had to hustle and watched her parents do it as soon as they got here. Her mom had a degree in English literature from India, but nobody would recognize it. So her first job was chopping onions at the local Wendy's restaurant, and they had to struggle. And so Leila Jannah thinks grit was part of her upbringing, and she actually really grateful for that because she thinks as an entrepreneur probably the most important attribute is not quitting and getting through just rejection after rejection. And most of the really successful entrepreneurs she know would tell her just how many people rejected them along the way. So if you can have a thick skin around, and that's actually a huge asset for her, as it was so tough as a child. She was always kind of an outcast, and they never had enough money to shop at normal clothing stores. They didn't have TV at home, so she was kind of a weirdo on the playground. She was a big nerd who read books all the time and did science fair competitions, and she really found a refuge in academics and was really passionate about school, and so got lucky enough to get into Harvard, but didn't really have the money to attend. So she would cobble together different jobs. She did in fact clean toilets for them of her campus. They call it dorm crew, but it's like a janitorial service run by students. So she thought it as so funny to imagine that at one point she was literally like scrubbing them off the rich kids' toilet. However, she do think that a lot of that kind of work is truly character building. She remembered that on summers she would literally calculate the value of everything she purchased according to how many toilets it would take her, to clean to purchase that, and she thought it gave her this frugality and discipline which she then brought into her entrepreneurial career. Laila had a vision about bringing the dignity of work and the promise of a living wage to the world's most vulnerable. She is a social entrepreneur who employed thousands of desperately poor people in Africa and India in the fervent belief that jobs, not handouts, offer the best escape from poverty. She desired to help improve the world gained traction when she was in middle school and joined the local chapter of the American Civil Liberties Union. During high school, she went to a rural area of Ghana as a part of an international student exchange program to teach blind children. She learned Braille while she was there. She was once said in an interview, I had never experienced anything like the poverty I saw there. It helped her to understand how poverty oppresses people. After graduating from Harvard in 2004 with a bachelor's degree in development studies, she worked for Kazenbach Partners, a management consulting company in New York. She was later a founding director of Incentives for Global Health, which develops market-based financial solutions to meet health problems, and work for the World Bank's Development Research Group. She traveled to Mumbai in India in about 2005 as a management consultant to help take an outsourcing company public. Riding through the city by auto rickshaw, she passed an enormous slum. But after arriving at the outsourcing center, she found a staff of educated middle-class workers. Few, if any, of the nearby poor were employed there. Couldn't the people from the slums do some of this work? She recalled thinking. It proved to be a galvanizing moment for her, who called the intellect of the poorest people in the world the biggest untapped resource in the global economy. She went on to start Summer Source in Nairobi, Kenya in 2008. Sama means equal in Sanskrit, with the aim of employing poor people for a living wage in digital jobs like photo tagging and image annotation, at which she called delivery centers in Kenya, Uganda and India. The workers generate data that is used for projects as diverse as self-driving cars, video game technology and software that helps park rangers in sub-Saharan African prevent that elephant poaching. She said the work done at Summer Source underscored her faith in providing decent jobs to poor people. While most of the company's employees hold entry level positions, some have moved into managerial jobs and others have started their small own business. The effectiveness of such non-profit groups had achieved this mission. It was a laser focus on creating work for the poorest, and its results were backed by sophisticated data systems that showed they got results. At least half the people hired by Summer Source are women, the company says. Summer Source employees have worked under contracts with companies including Microsoft, Google, Facebook, Walmart, Jetty Images, Glassdoor, and Vulcan Capital, a holding company formed by Paul G. Allen, a founder of Microsoft. We are fighting the battle of birthing a new venture, she wrote, while at the same time trying to show the world that we can inject a sense of justice into the business itself rather than merely trying to rack up profit. But unfortunately, she passed away on January 24, 2020 due to complications from epithelioid sarcoma, a rare soft tissue cancer. Leila spearheaded a global impact sourcing movement and was a champion for environmental sustainability and ending global poverty. We will definitely miss you, Leila. Your infectious laugh, your tenacious spirit, and your ability to inspire us. You encountered to be a force for good in the world.